What's under Antarctica? The Earth is so big that we still don't know everything about the places we thought we'd completely explored. One such location is Antarctica, our planet's sparsely populated, ice-cold region. Now, a team of daring scientists have dug deeper and found something interesting. Care to find out what's under Antarctica? Then watch this video to the end. What you need to know. Located miles beneath Antarctica's frozen surface is an underground river, which serves as a home to a previously unknown ecology. Just recently, scientists have pulled this secret world into the light, revealing a deep, rocky cavern teeming with tiny, shrimp-like organisms. The scientists discovered the hidden underground community beneath the Larsen Ice Shelf, a gigantic floating sheet of ice tied to the eastern tip of the Antarctic peninsula that is famed for giving birth to the world's largest iceberg in 2021. How did the scientists discover this place? Researchers released a statement explaining how they used satellite imagery to identify a strange groove in the ice shelf near where it met the land as a subsurface river. The team used a strong hot water pipe to dig down 1,640 feet under the ice and reach the underground room. Scientists were unable to get a clear look at the underwater cavern, thanks to the hundreds of tiny, fuzzy specks in the water that blocked the video feed from the camera they sent down the freezing tube. The group at first suspected that a malfunction in their machinery was to blame, but when they refocused the camera, however, they saw that small amphipod crustaceans were covering the lens. In their wildest imaginations, they had not anticipated discovering any form of life so far below the cold surface, the proof of a deeper ecosystem. According to physical oceanographer Craig Stevens of New Zealand's National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research, seeing all those species swimming around our camera suggests there is certainly an important ecosystem process happening there. There was jumping up and down for delight once the team found the hidden shrimp-infested building, Stevens said. The existence of a large system of rivers, lakes, and estuaries beneath Antarctica has long been assumed by experts, but until recently, these features have been inadequately investigated. The discovery is even more significant because it was previously unknown whether or not they hosted life. What the scientists are saying. Hugh Horgan, a glaciologist at New Zealand's Te Heranga Waka, Victoria University of Wellington, described his experience studying the river to The Guardian as like being the first to explore a hidden realm. In 2020, Horgan saw the first signs of the underground settlement in a satellite image of the area. A subterranean river can be identified by the long dip or groove it leaves in the ice. Although the groove was easily visible in satellite photographs, Stevens said it took some time for scientists on the ground to notice it. The team was caught off guard when the camera they sent down the river came back, showing a cavern that looked nothing like they had expected. A flat and smooth ceiling was anticipated by the researchers. Instead, they discovered that the roof was extremely sloping and undulating. Nearer the ceiling, the cavern's width also increased significantly. Stevens described it as having a bulge at the top and narrow slope at the bottom, like a loaf of bread. In addition, the researchers made the surprising discovery that the subsurface water column separated into 4 or 5 strata, each with water moving in the opposite direction. We need to revise our theories and models of these ecosystems in light of this new information, Stevens added. To interpret this, we will have our hands full. The Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano eruption. The group had just had enough time to reach the surface above the underground river before making another fascinating discovery. The scientists arrived a few days prior to the record-breaking eruption of the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano in Tonga on January 15, 2022. Pressure waves from the colossal explosion reverberated through Earth's atmosphere like a bell, and researchers' sensors on the ice's surface picked up pressure waves traveling through the subsurface chamber. It was remarkable to see the impact of the eruption on the Tongan volcano from hundreds of kilometers away. As Stevens put it, it's a good reminder of how interdependent all of humanity is, she said. The researchers plan to keep studying the newly discovered subsurface ecosystem in the hopes of elucidating the water's nutrient cycling through the subterranean networks that sustain Antarctica's rich biodiversity. However, the researchers are concerned that this and other secret ecosystems may be threatened by the rapid warming temperatures induced by climate change. Stephen added, "The climate is changing, and several critical focal points are still not fully understood by science. However, radical shifts are unquestionably on the horizon." Incredible recent discoveries in Antarctica you should know about. The Antarctic continent is a popular destination for scientists due to its remote location and extreme cold. Some people get a kick out of organizing cruises to Antarctica, but in reality, such journeys just scratch the surface of what the continent has hidden inside. Each year, over 400 researchers spend the winter on this cold continent. And as you would expect, lots of amazing findings are made when marine biologists, geologists, oceanographers, and geophysicists collaborate. These researchers and scientists collect information, film and record footage, and employ radar equipment when they go out on trips to the Antarctic. Recent discoveries in science have dealt with topics as diverse as the ozone layer, earthquakes, shipwrecks, and DNA dating back 1 million years. Here are some amazing findings on Antarctica. 1. A growing hole in the ozone layer. Scientists found the ozone hole above Antarctica to be the greatest it has ever been in the fall of 2022, with its size being more than the area of the United States. A lot of people are concerned about what will happen to Antarctica, thanks to global warming and the thinning of the ozone layer. One is left to ponder what Antarctica would look like if the ice cap suddenly disappeared. While climate change has scientists worried, NASA's scientist Paul Newman says the ozone hole should shrink over time. 2. Ice sheet movement. Adaptations to the changing seasons were associated with shifts in ice sheet motion. For those who don't know, the Antarctic ice sheets are prone to melting and shifting. Scientists from the University of Cambridge and NBO uncovered the seasonal connection between ice melting and drainage in the autumn of 2022. As an illustration, it was found that ice shelf movement and ice flow accelerated by 15% in the Arctic during the summer. The research team utilized satellite imagery to determine if there was a seasonal pattern to the ice's migration, and if so, what it was. 3. Clusters of Antarctic earthquakes. The Pacific Ocean's Ring of Fire is perhaps the first place that comes to mind when people think of earthquakes. However, recent seismic activity in Antarctica, the world's southernmost continent, has been detected. It was discovered by scientists that earthquake clusters occurred on both the Shetland Plate and the Antarctic Plate. From August of 2020 through February of 2021, the swarms occurred regularly, and about 85,000 earthquakes happened throughout that time. Scientists speculate that a dormant volcano erupted, causing this string of seismic storms. 4. A massive ice fish breeding colony. The greatest fish breeding colony, with 60 million nests, was discovered by scientists in early 2021 near the Volcanic Ice Shelf in the Antarctic Weddell Sea. A towed camera device was employed by the research team to film the ice fish at depths greater than 400 meters. Using the camera system's photos, researchers were able to identify the nests as having been built by the ice fish species Neopagitopsis iona. Usually, there are between 1,500 and 2,500 eggs in each of these nests. 5. Shackleton's Endurance's wreck was discovered. Antarctica's history, geography, vegetation, fauna, and even the phenomenon of the midnight sun are all remarkable in their own ways, and the loss of the steam yacht Endurance in 1915 is an intriguing episode in Antarctic history. Ernest Shackleton, an adventurer who was on board the ship when it sank, died in 1922, and in March of 2022, a South African polar research team made the long-awaited discovery of the ship. The researchers are ecstatic at the find and Endurance's pristine condition. 6. Discovered DNA that is millions of years old. DNA dating back millions of years was found in Antarctica in the fall of 2022. This DNA was found by a joint research team from the Universities of Tasmania and Vaughan in the Scotia Sea, which is located just north of Antarctica. The newly discovered silt is the oldest marine DNA identified in bottom sediments. Scientists will examine and study this DNA to learn more about the polar marine ecology and the potential effects of climate change on Antarctica. So guys, now you know what's under Antarctica. Who knows what researchers will find next? Thanks for watching.